evening and welcome to the 2015 State of the City Address for the City of Oak Park. I am Director JOSCELYN Davis. I run the Communications Department here, and I am very pleased to welcome all of you here. We are going to have a lovely program that starts with a local resident here who is a beautiful songstress. She's going to lead us in the national anthem, followed by, this is a very important night. We're going to be having words from the leadership of Oak Park. They're going to be telling us about the wonderful progress that we made in the last year and the vision that we have for progress in the future. This is going to be a very important night for all of us here on staff and of course for our residents. And without further ado, I want to introduce to you a wonderful songstress. She's just lovely. Come on up and introduce yourself, and she's going to give us the national anthem.
Hello, my name is Shay Lewis, and I'm going to be singing the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Whoa, saved us as star-spangled banner yet waved. Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Was that beautiful? Shay is homegrown, so we are especially pleased that she's here today, and we know we're going to watch her do great things. We're going to say we knew her win. So we're going to start the program with opening words from our city manager, Eric Tungate. He's been with the city now for about 3 years, and he has turned this city around under the leadership and the guidance of this council. So next, without further ado, we'll hear from Eric Tungate, city manager. Thank you.
Thank you, JOSCELYN. Thank you. I want to thank you for that wonderful introduction. And as all of you know, whenever I talk about myself, I always say it's we, because we turned this city around, let's be honest. Welcome state and local elected officials, dignitaries, city staff, guests, and esteemed residents and business owners. Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, Councilmember Speech, Councilmember Burns, and Councilmember Seligson. I also want, and I'd like you to hold your applause for the directors as well, but I'd like my directors to stand up if they could. And I want to start with the Assistant City Manager, Kevin Yee. If you'll stand, please. Public Safety Director, Steve Cooper. The Director of Technical and Planning, Robert Barrett. The Director of Community and Economic Development, Kim Maroney. Our Director of Recreation, Julie Hall. Our City Clerk, Ed Norse. Our Library Director, Brandon Bowman. Our Director of Human Resources, Vicki Brooks. Our Finance Director, Gail Credit. I see you back there. And our Communications Director, JOSCELYN Davis. Thank you. So as JOSCELYN said, for those of you that don't know, this is the third State of the City address in, I believe, the city's history. And I'm honored to be the person that gets to introduce the mayor. But first, I want to say a few things. And, you know, we have been on an incredible journey. And we have put the economic crisis in our rearview mirror. That's saying a lot. This has been tough. It wasn't always certain that we'd be sitting here tonight, fully in charge of our destiny, and so positive about what the future of our city holds. You know, when I came here in the summer of 2012, morale was at its lowest point probably ever. Taxable values were down. The city's budget was out of whack. And I had seen, because of positions I held previous in my career, what could become of us if we didn't make the necessary changes that we so desperately needed to make. Most importantly among our issues is our financial house was not in order, and we still didn't have a viable plan to dig our way out of what at that time was becoming an even more compounding calamity for all of our residents. On top of that, there was no plan to grow the city's tax base and to jump on to the growing movement that we've all seen in communities nearby, including the city of Detroit. So let me stand witness with you here tonight and tell you that we took on our challenges head on. We didn't hide from them. This council right up here and myself took these challenges on head on. And we put a plan in place to meticulously and methodically change our course. And we've accomplished many things along the way. As the mayor will detail in a moment, we have reformed our financial operation. We have created and instituted an economic development department for the first time in the city's history to grow our tax base. We set a solid path for a bright future in the years to come. Along the way, we found our footing, and we even overcame a horrible flood. I know that's not a very nice thing to say. It's so new and so fresh to so many of you. But maybe that's the lesson. All things can be overcome if you are relentless and true to the mission. And that's what we did. While we here in Oak Park don't grab the regional headlines, there's no better example of that than here. We aren't about politics. We aren't interested in getting undue attention. We are a city of hardworking employees, the most supportive residents, and I mean that, and business owners, and unrelenting elected officials, the people that you see sitting up here with me tonight. We are a city known for excellence and partnership, and a place that is now, finally, once again, brimming with optimism and pride. I'm proud to serve in my capacity as the city manager and chief executive of this community, and I'm even more proud to say that I've participated in the great turnaround story that is still being made today. These are truly extraordinary things. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our very progressive and esteemed Mayor, MARIAN McClellan. Thank you.
Welcome, everybody, to the third annual State of the Union Address, State of the City. Getting above myself here. As City Manager Tungate mentioned, the city is run by this group of people sitting up here. My colleagues, Mayor Pro Tem Paul Levine, Council members Carolyn Burns, in alphabetical order, Michael Seligson, I think the longest serving council member in Oak Park history, Keisha Speech, Council Member Keisha Speech. Without them, I could not be standing up here tonight bragging about what wonderful things have happened in Oak Park. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to our visiting elected officials. James Jackson from Senator Peters' office was here with his charming daughter, had to leave for another appointment. Jasmine Morgan from Congressman Lawrence's office. Thank you for representing the Congresswoman here. Robert Wittenberg, our new state representative. Helene Zach, our Oakland County Commissioner. And Nancy Quarles, our other Oakland County Commissioner. Eugene Lumberg, our city prosecutor, was here, had to leave for another engagement. But we have the honor of entertaining Kurt Metzger, the mayor of Pleasant Ridge. Thank you for coming. From the city of Royal Oak, we have the city manager, Donald Johnson. City manager of Pleasant Ridge, James Bruckman. Superintendent of Schools in Ferndale, Blake Pruitt. From the Oak Park Schools, we have the Executive Director of Curriculum, Dr. Stan Trumpeter. Thank you for coming. As the city manager said, when I started serving as mayor in 2011, the finance, Davita Colbert, we missed her, she was hiding. Dr. Davita Colbert, thank you for coming. Irv Lomberg, yeah, I thought he left her. Irv Lowenberg from Southfield, welcome. Thank you for coming, our treasurer from Southfield. Thank you. I started serving, and our finance director told me this is the worst financial situation that Oak Park has ever been in, ever, in its history. At that time, we were on the watch list for a financial manager. Not a lot to brag about at that State of the Union, State of the City address, except for setting a new direction. And setting a new direction is what we did. Many hard decisions later, and with the generosity of our residents who passed Public Act 345, we are now witnessing a rebirth in the city, a rebirth of energy and a rebirth of hope in the future. Morale is up. Code is making the city look good. The police are doing a wonderful job. The city looks better. We've moved from being a city complacent with the status quo to one that embraces change and looks to the future with high expectations. I couldn't be more proud of our progress. Our economic development efforts are starting to bear fruit. In fact, I am delighted and honored to announce tonight that the city has received a site application for new industrial development at the former Light Guard Armory property, which has been vacant for years. This could be, yeah. Bravo. This could be the linchpin of our city's comeback because it will generate new tax revenue and it will create jobs. That's a big deal. City Council exercised great judgment and selected the right person for the right time. City Manager Eric Tungate, who was recently named one of Crane Magazine's 40 over 40, and probably more important, a new father. He was recognized for competence and innovation. He believes that, as we all do up here, that public service is a great calling, as demonstrated by his positive energy and vision, which helped us embark on a course of growth and prosperity. Under his leadership, our staff, which includes our amazing directors, managers, and workers, made extraordinary strides in a very short time. He is near the end of a complete overhaul of city government operations, so we are now more lean, mean, and efficient. This is a monumental achievement, and I think I am pleased to say that our community is now financially stable. Cost-saving measures like combining 5 or 6 insurance programs into one health plan enabled the city to create a $2.1 million fund balance. That's astounding. We changed pension managers to better manage our employees' retirement funds. We went through an entire process with that and came out with the best of the best. Our residents have also experienced personal benefits from the city's stability. Home values in Oak Park have increased by 1.16% last year, and we expect this trend will continue. We refinanced the street bonds to save our residents $1.8 million in taxes over the life of the bonds. We make it we always budget very conservatively to reserve funds for the unexpected. And Mother Nature sent us the unexpected this year and last year. Despite record-breaking snowfalls last winter, the great flood in August, and 60-mile-an-hour windstorms that brought down power lines, our city was up to the challenge. Our city government had access to the resources necessary for efficient cleanup and recovery. Our residents demonstrated extraordinary resilience and neighborly kindness. Frankly, we set the standard for best practices in the region, for effectiveness of our cleanup and excellence of our communication with residents. Bravo, staff. City Manager Eric Tungate, please stand up for a well-deserved round of applause. Within the past 2 years, we have put together an exceptional team of directors who not only get the job done, but who bring extraordinary competence and caring to their positions. You probably noticed we've endured 2 harsh winters in a row, and hopefully this one is over. If you're like me, you can't say enough about the efficient, caring work of our Public Works Department workers in maintaining our city streets through everything. It is widely acknowledged that Oak Park services are superior, and our residents are grateful. The cleanup after the August floods and the winter challenges, we've gotten many accolades from grateful residents, and we appreciate your input. We're very fortunate to have a competent, multi-skilled assistant city manager who also, in his spare time, serves as Director of Public Works and city engineer. He had the project lead on this enormously complex building project, City Hall building project, and managed to bring this beautiful building that you're sitting in on time and under budget. Thank you for your leadership, Assistant City Manager Kevin Yee. Keeping our residents safe is the most important charge of city government, and we are blessed to have our first-rate Oak Park Public Safety Department, known all over the region for its competent, professional, and caring service. Also, if you have a medical emergency, you can count on somebody being there. Those officers are there for you, and we experience that as a family. Due to financial constraints, we experienced deep cuts to the force in 2012. But I'm delighted to report that through Director Steve Cooper's diligent, active recruitment efforts, more than half these positions have been restored, and we look forward to filling the rest soon, which is great news. One of our core values is to honor the rich cultural diversity of our community. Director Cooper's recruitment has done just that. We now have a diverse force, including women and African American officers. We have added a new chaplain, Howard Tekach, to provide counsel to officers and residents alike. Thank you for your strong leadership, Director Cooper. Park used to be a communications desert. No one knew what was happening. In short order, we have been nimble enough to react to emergencies by getting crucial information to our residents in real time. If I met you, I probably asked for your email address. More than 2,000 residents responded to my personal requests for email addresses this year, which let the city send daily email announcements to residents during the emergency of the flood. And because some of our residents don't use the internet, during the last snow emergency, for the first time, we used a robocall system to remind residents to keep streets clear for emergency vehicles. Our communications updates have been so popular that other cities are copying our systems. Once again, Oak Park is in the lead. Our innovative communications director, JOSCELYN Davis, likes starting with a blank page, and that's what she certainly had. She developed a complete communication plan for our city, which includes a bi-monthly branch newsletter, which goes to every mailbox in the 48237 zip code, bi-weekly e-blast to keep residents informed, active Facebook, Twitter, and social media presence, an annual community calendar with pictures from our popular community events, updated cable programming, including partnering with Oak Park schools who film our 4th of July parade, and coming soon, a fresh new user-friendly website. Have you seen the new impressive resident handbook that Director Davis made? Thank you for your guidance, Director JOSCELYN Davis. Last year, we began collaborating with our neighboring communities in an effort to maximize quality of life for our residents. Oak Park signed an intergovernmental agreement with Ferndale for shared recreation services that will expand programming for both cities. Without a doubt, our new recreation director, Julie Hall, has brought new ideas, needed organization, and great energy to the recreation program. Welcome, Director Hall. This past year, our city clerk oversaw the successful reorganization of our voting precincts, which will greatly improve the voting experience in Oak Park. The clerk's office also organized our council-appointed boards and commissions and met with each group to provide training in parliamentary procedure and the Open Meetings Act. We will use the talents and energy of our residents who wish to be engaged in local government. You are all welcome. So far, the council has added 55 new residents to our boards and commissions, new people with new ideas. The council works so closely with this office, so we deeply appreciate the work of City Clerk Ed Norris. In 2011, the business scene in Oak Park was stagnant. We were still using a 70-year-old master plan. Home values were not benefiting from tired retail areas. We are now focusing on implementing our new 10-year strategic plan. First, we will establish a corridor improvement authority along Coolidge, 9 Mile, and 11 Mile, with specific achievable goals and an endpoint. We installed, you might have seen, 11 elegant signs at the Oak Park borders to brand our city as a community on the move. The next one will be installed on a new island at 8 Mile and Coolidge. Keep an eye out for it. We plan to add bike lanes and more parking on our streets to encourage shopping. Last year, our city council passed ordinances in support of tavern licenses and outdoor dining, which will help our local restaurants increase customer traffic. Oak Park joined Oakland County's Main Street program to declare loud and clear that Oak Park is open for business. We have welcomed as many as 34 new businesses in Oak Park since June 1st, 2014. And for that, we have to thank Kimberly Marone, Manager of Community and Economic Development. Manager Marone serves as staff liaison for our Oak Park Arts and Cultural Commission, also known as OPEC, which hosted several exciting events this past year, monthly events, including Summerfest, the city's newest annual event. I'm happy to announce that OPEC has raised funds and secured matching dollars for a series of 4 music concerts in our own Shepherd Park this summer. Last summer, Oak Park was chosen to participate in the Detroit Institute of Art's Inside Out program, and residents were able to discover art all over Oak Park. Another arts triumph, earlier this month, the city again partnered with the Oak Park School District to host our first annual My Oak Park Experience Art in Motion contest. Do yourself a huge favor and peruse the galleries here in the City Hall and the Community Center over next month. The student work is astounding, and you will be amazed to learn that most of this beautiful work was done by elementary students. We have budding artists right here in our own backyard, and we're delighted to be partnering with Oak Park Schools. As a result of the Great Recession, it's no secret that some of our Oak Parkers lost jobs and subsequently lost homes who were now owned by landlords. We expanded our code department, stepped up to the challenge of ensuring that these homes were kept up to standards. People are noticing that this is making a difference in our city. We are moving in the right direction. We have beautifully built and maintained homes in our city that are priced right. And if you're like me, you can't wait until the 20-somethings who are wanting to work downtown in Detroit discover that Oak Park is the place to live. Director Robert Barrett, for your work with the Code Department and so many of the other things you do. Thank you for your leadership in the Technical and Planning Department. We have been very fortunate to have Gail Credit from Plant Moran serve as our finance director and reorganize our finance department. She inherited an antiquated accounting system linked to out-of-date DOS-based computer software, back with the dinosaurs. They couldn't cooperate with other city departments or the county system. This past year's biggest challenge has been integrating the new computer system with our old records. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, however, and as well as the benefit to our residents. For one, you can see your water bill online. You can make payments online. Director Credit, please stand to accept our appreciation for a job well done. We also welcome 2 additional directors to the executive team, Human Resources Director Vicki Brooks and Library Director Brandon Bowman. Director Brooks is leading a total system audit to find efficiencies in employee recruitment, training, and development. Director Bowman brings great energy to his new role, as well as experience and creativity to better position Oak Park Library. Have you heard of his new Read to a Dog program? Director Brooks, please stand. And Director Bowman. Jeff Shefke, our Information Technology Director, has overseen the replacement of the city's ancient technology. Upgrades will save time and money for staff and residents alike. Residents now have access to online services, such as recreation class registration, you can do that online, water bill payments, tax payments, and building permit status updates. This is a sea change for Oak Park. Thank you for your hard work, Director Jeff Shefke. Led by Communications Director JOSCELYN Davis, my colleagues on City Council and I embarked on a new frontier this past year with the development of a strategic plan for the City of Oak Park. We engaged in a 3-month planning process during which we analyzed the city's strengths and areas of opportunity. We recognize that our main priorities for the city's success are summed up by 3 C's: community, culture, and commerce. We are making strides in all 3 areas. We collectively identified the mission of the City Council and City Administration to provide the highest quality of life for our residents, priding ourselves on the richness of our cultural diversity, our safe and secure neighborhoods, actively encouraging residential and business growth, and remaining both business-minded and family-centered. Our vision for the city's future is strong. Oak Park will lead the region as the most dynamic city in metropolitan Detroit, serving as a destination for vibrant, cutting-edge community life. I'd like to close tonight by sharing my personal dream and hopefully invoking your imagination. Imagine sitting on a flowered patio of a restaurant on a balmy summer night at the Four Corners on 9 Mile and Coolidge, surrounded by twinkling lights and upbeat music. Imagine you're celebrating your birthday under the stars with a delicious dinner and a glass of wine. Imagine busy shoppers from all over Oakland County enjoy the rare shops, unique coffee houses, jazz clubs, art galleries, and bistros on the Four Corners. Imagine that Oak Park is a regional destination. Imagine the prosperity. Now, open your eyes and see clearly that our city departments are well organized and comprehensive development plans are being implemented. We have emerged from despair to a clear vision of our city's brilliant future. With wise planning and foresight, Oak Park is ready to face life's uneven ground. The best is yet to come. Thank you, and good night.
On behalf of our City Council and our City Manager and all of the administration, we want to thank you for coming out tonight. Please enjoy the refreshments that are back in the West Conference Room at the other end of this hallway, and thank you so much. God bless.